talks over the Catalan presidency are going in the right direction. This is what all pro-independence parties have said, but the final agreement still hasn't been reached, and certain discrepancies regarding the issue have arisen today. Hello and welcome to Catalan News. The forces in favour of a Catalan state might reach an agreement for the presidency of the country in the coming days. All sources are optimistic over the outcome of the negotiations, although any accord between them remains unclear. Talks are being held both in Catalonia and Belgium, where Carles Puigdemont is still staying. In fact, both countries could host a Catalan president in the near future. This might be the way for Puigdemont to be reinstated as president, but also to have someone in a post in Catalonia accepted by Spain. Yet the unionist parties reject this idea, and there is no unanimity in the pro-independence bloc either. Here at Catalan News, we'll get you the latest on this issue. We'll also talk about the main topic of conversation in the northern part of the country today, the heavy snowfall throughout the day. The Spanish authorities are still blocking Puigdemont's bid to be reinstated as president, but neither he nor his party want to give in. They think changing the candidate for presidency would be accepting Spain's measures against Catalonia's self-rule. The other major pro-independence party, Esquerra, does not want to risk ending up with more officials in prison only to swear in Puigdemont and without guarantees that he's allowed to take office. Both parties met yesterday in Brussels, with the far-left CUP travelling to the EU capital today. According to some sources, they might be discussing about having two presidents for the country, although Puigdemont's candidacy is sceptical.
Two heads of government, one in Catalonia and one in Belgium. That's what the pro-independence parties have been considering in their latest meetings. According to some newspapers, the idea of the parties in favour of a Catalan state would be to swear in Carles Puigdemont as the legitimate president from Brussels through a pro-independence assembly of local and Catalan-wide elected members. Meanwhile, another candidate would be appointed in the Catalan parliament in accordance with Spanish law. Yet Together for Catalonia ruled out this possibility and insisted that Puigdemont is the only candidate. The negotiations among the three pro-independence parties to choose a new Catalan president have not yet finished, and little information has been revealed. So far, an official for Puigdemont's Together for Catalonia ticket said that the parties will soon reach an agreement, while the Esquerra party did not rule out the idea of dual government heads.
Entenem que sona bé perquè dona tot el valor al govern legítim de Brussel·les i alhora fa possible acabar amb el 155.
Two presidents for the country is not so far away from what the currently imprisoned Catalan vice president proposed last week. Yet, whether the president in Belgium would have executive powers or not is still unclear, and it is likely to be part of the discussions. Meanwhile, the unionist parties flatly rejected the dual presidency and called on the pro-independence parties to stop posturing.
Entre tots hauríem d'estalviar-nos gestos de cara a la galeria que no contribueixen precisament al prestigi i a la fortalesa de les institucions, sinó de tot el contrari.
In the coming days, the pro-independence parties will continue their talks, both in Catalonia and in Belgium. At the same time, all parties are waiting for the Spanish Constitutional Court to have its final say on the legality of Puigdemont's bid for president.
The Spanish Constitutional Court is not the only one at the centre of the media's attention. Today, a Barcelona courtroom sent two corruption plot ringleaders to provisional prison. Felix Millet and Jordi Montoy were sentenced to 9 and 7 years in prison respectively last month. They were in charge of the Palau de la Música concert hall for decades, and the court found them guilty of stealing 23 million euros from the institution. They are now waiting for the Spanish Supreme Court to decide on their appeals, but they will have to wait from behind bars. Other people with prison sentences in the case, including the former treasurer for the CDC party, will remain free while waiting for the final judgment. Half of Catalonia is under snow today. A heavy snowfall between yesterday and today has changed the landscape of many counties, but there weren't only picturesque images throughout the country today, there were also some full of stress. Around 10 roads were cut off, some schools closed down, and around 5,000 households were left without electricity. It was the heaviest snowfall in some years for some towns in the Pyrenees.
This weekend's heavy snowfall has caused major disruptions in the more mountainous regions of the country, particularly those close to the Pyrenees. In fact, some roads were even cut off completely, and many travelers had to use snow chains in order to get about, according to the Catalan traffic service. The snow even caused problems for some rail services, as well as school transport services. Some teachers were not able to make it. And various schools in the Cerdanya and Ripollès regions even had to be closed down, affecting around 3,000 pupils who could enjoy the snow day from home and who sped the journey out into the freezing cold.
Lots que no venen, alumnes que tampoc no venen, classes que estan doncs, a un quart de buides. Bé, malgrat tot, el que ens toca és que tots els que venguin tinguin la màxima normalitat possible dins un dia anormal, que és un dia de nevada.
For others, the snow made life a little more complicated. Catalan police and firefighters had to rescue a group of 60 students who had been trapped by the snow in the area of La Molina. They were later transferred to a warm hotel. Until now, this has been the most disruptive weather in the northern area of the country in this season, with snowfall arriving at between 10 to 50 centimeters in some areas. So, if you are planning a trip to higher altitudes, make sure you wrap up warm, have your mobile charged, and don't forget your snow chains.
Despite the disruptive effects of the snow today, Catalonia will see some longer-term benefits of the severe weather. In fact, the country usually welcomes snow because it means business for some areas. For instance, most passengers who land at Lleida Airport in Western Catalonia are seeking the ski resorts in the Pyrenees. The tour operator Quality Travel from Sweden has opened new routes to the airport. This firm will bring around 2,500 skiers to the slopes of Andorra up until March 25th. For next year, though, the company is considering the Catalan ski resort of Baqueira as a destination. This will be good business for the region, as in 2018, a total of 20,000 overnight stays in Andorran hotels is forecast.
It's very comfortable to go to such a small airport because it's easier to go around and yeah, there's no queuing and you don't make any mistakes, but because it's only one place for check-in.
Another thriving business is the phone network provider Parlem. This company was established in 2014, emphasizing that they were Catalan-based, unlike the traditional providers, as one of its main strategies to get clients. The telecommunications company announced remarkable results in the term following October the 1st. In fact, it increased its number of clients by around 45% in the last 3 months of 2017. The Spanish police violence during the referendum day on October 1st and the turmoil of the autumn might have caused a reaction by a number of people to take their business away from the traditional providers. The owner of Parlem aims to be a major telecommunications company in the country. He also says that social networks gave them an idea that the last term would be a good one for the firm.
Nosaltres hem observat moviments a les xarxes socials en els quals la gent demana consum responsable, consum de proximitat, i per tant fan propostes de substitució, particularment de companyies de telecomunicacions en el nostre cas, i proposen substituir companyies de fora per companyies d'aquí.
We've come to the end of our show today, but before leaving you, we'll show you some images of a massive parade in the coastal town of Sitges. Hundreds of people dressed up and 25 tons of confetti were thrown. The town is warming up for this year's Carnival, which will take place this weekend throughout the country. Goodbye and see you tomorrow.
Son partidas, solo situadas, se te acerca y te mira.